Now, we all know that during COVID 2020, a lot of us were going through things like job loss, income loss, businesses closing down, things like that. And celebrities who already had millions, like Lil Wayne, Chris Brown, Marshmello, for example, who already had millions of dollars, were awarded money from a government issued agency after they already had the millions, were awarded millions for things like loss of concert ticket sales and loss from revenue they would have received for concerts being used, being sold out, and parties, and issued money for things like clothing and various things like that. As a matter of fact, give me just one moment. We're going to take a brief pause because I'm going to come back and tell you exactly the things that those money were awarded for. Hold the line. Now I'm back. Some of those grants were paid to the staff, and some of them paid their staff. The Marshmello guy actually paid the entire grant to himself, meaning nobody got any of the funds on his staff. Only himself got the funds. Now, granted, these people, like I said, are already millionaires. Now, if you guys can recall, in 2020, none of us were outsiding. They wouldn't let us go outside because we know that COVID was spreading like wildfire and people were getting sick left and right and everywhere else. So we weren't allowed to outside. So what concerts were we attending? Can anybody tell me? What concerts were we attending in 2020? We weren't attending concerts in 2020 because they weren't letting us attend concerts in 2020. So why would we need to be funding anybody in their lavish lifestyles in 2020? You are already a millionaire, so you should have had plenty of money to tide yourself over. So you mean to tell me you're a millionaire and you're not saving your money properly and allocating your funds properly to afford your lifestyle? What are you doing with your money? If that was the average everyday person, they would have been writing us and writing our asses and asking us, the average everyday poor person, what we're doing with our money. So you mean to tell me that you're asking me, who's living paycheck to paycheck, what I'm doing with my money, and you're questioning me, who's living paycheck to paycheck, what I'm doing with my money while I'm living, again, paycheck to paycheck, but you're not asking a millionaire what they're doing with their money, and you're ready to allocate them more funds when they're shopping places like Gucci and places like that, which are some of the places that were named on the list of places that Lil Wayne shopped. And this is no shade to him, but he's on the list, so that's whose name I'm calling, and that's whose name is in the picture, because that's whose picture they used, and that's whose name they used. So that's whose name I'm calling. So you mean to tell me that Lil Wayne, Chris Brown, and all those people could shop at Gucci, and you're asking me, who's living paycheck to paycheck, what I'm doing with my money? And this is the type of thing that made a lot of people want to unalive themselves and to end it when 2020 came and COVID came, because it's like they felt like there was no way out from their already dire situations because they already didn't have any money, and here you go thrusting them deeper into poverty, but you're over here giving millionaires even more millions and having a whole fund for them to give them more millions because they can't throw overly expensive concerts and they can't go to Gucci and get the latest. Are you fucking serious? Are you serious? And here we are just trying to keep our heads above water, and you are creating funds for them because they can't go to Gucci today and get the latest. And we're over here just trying to keep our head above water and survive and trying not to catch COVID. And you are paying them because they couldn't go an overly priced concert that most of us couldn't have afforded anyway. You got to be out of your fucking minds. And this is the type of shit that makes people not like celebrities. And this is the type of shit that makes people want to be celebrities. Go out of their way, live above their means, and do all type of things to be like these type of people, is because they feel like they will be privileged like these people and get to do things and acquire things and get things that the rest of us aren't afforded, because we're not average, because they're not average everyday people. And average everyday people are sitting here and suffering and not being awarded these type of things because we're average everyday people. And I get it. If you have a talent, you want to be paid for your talent. I get it. If you are blessed with that type of talent, because Lil Wayne is talented, Chris Brown is talented. I don't know who this Marshmello guy is, but I'm pretty sure he's talented to be where he is in life. And yes, you want to be paid for your talent. That is a gift. That is a gift given to you from God. But don't take advantage of the situation and do what these guys did. When you read that article, oh my God, it's like they just took advantage. And that's not right. And that's not fair. Because there's still people out here whose business is closed, who are still suffering from 2020. And it's 2024. It's about to be 2025. And there's still people that are out here suffering. And you got, let me tell you, but what's happening to them is just like with the government now, the chickens are coming home to roost with, unfortunately, CEOs being unaligned and things like that. They're having to pay back funds because they're finding out that with these funds, they weren't used properly. That's really what this article is about. And so they were given this money that they should not have been given in the first place, because, they got the little guys first, and they're taking them to jail for getting those funds and using those funds improperly. They got them first, and now they're going after the big dogs, and it's about time. That's what this whole video is about. Is because they're now going after the big guys, because they too, just like the average everyday little person, got a hold to some money, didn't know how to act, used that money in the most inappropriate way, and allocated those funds in the most inappropriate way. They got those stars in their eyes too, because they saw a bag and it was easy money, and they used those funds in an inappropriate way that they shouldn't have. And now they have to pay that money back. They are being investigated. And if they don't have the bag, which they should have made that bag 10 times over, because it's been 4 fucking years. And let's hope they saved that money and hope they made that money back. They're going to have to pay their money back, and I hope they charge them interest, because they would have deserved to have interest taxed onto that, just like the average everyday little person who did the scamming and the finagling and the finessing did. I hope they have to pay it back too, because y'all weren't doing the right thing when you took that money in the first place, and now it's time for you to have to pay back. Pay the piper. Time to pay up. You didn't do the right thing in the first place when you took it. It's time for you to pay up as you should. You were wrong. You were wrong. All of y'all were wrong. Because you overpriced tickets anyway that you were going to sell. You missed out because COVID came. Big deal. Deal with it. You had millions anyway. You should have been saving your money. If you weren't, it's too bad. That's too bad. You got afforded this money. You shouldn't have. Hopefully, you did the right thing and you saved your money. And you're going to pay that money back. So, it is what it is. That's all I wanted to say about that. Hopefully, y'all learned a lesson from that. And just like the people who took the money for COVID-19 and were lying about businesses that they didn't create, when I tried to get money and grant money to actually create a business, and I wasn't able to do that because I was trying to do the right thing and actually create a business, and I wasn't afforded that money, and you were afforded that money for those fake businesses, and karma came back and hit your ass. Karma is going to come back and hit these celebrities' asses too. So I hope y'all did the right thing. I hope y'all did the right thing. And I hope you were actually using that money for things that you actually needed it for. So we'll see. It's going to come out in the wash. We're going to see how many of y'all end up in bankruptcy court for this. And see how many of y'all don't. And I'm not going to feel sorry for any of you if you do. Because it'll be your just due. And it is what it is. Oh well.